rifle. Rifle squad would typically be comprised of a squad leader, usually a sergeant, an assistant squad leader, which would be a lance corporal, perhaps a corporal, and then 8 squad members, one of whom would be your MG gunner, and that's what I'm geared up today as. So the MG gunner would have a pistol, the normal Y straps, plus the toolbox for the machine gun. And this was every rifle squad in the German military. Today we've got an MG42. This is set up in a heavy configuration, so the rifle squad would not have this tripod. Instead, they would just have use of the bipod right here. But this is the weapon that really made German infantry so awesome, okay? The reason being, after their experiences in the First World War, the Germans realized they needed a weapon with a very high rate of firepower. So early in the war, they had an MG34, which is about the same size, but it cost 40% more to build, and it also had a lot of issues as far as maintaining it in the field. But it only had an 800 round per minute rate of fire versus the 600 round per minute of the 30 caliber American machine gun. The MG42 was a step up, like I said. It was a lot cheaper to produce. It had a rate of fire of 1,200 rounds a minute. Even if a rifle squad were depleted to just 2 or 3 men, as long as the machine gun was still available to them, they could defend in place very easily. The machine gun is single-man portable, okay? You don't fire this, though, from this position. It gets very hot. German Army specified that you could only fire 2,000 rounds using a single barrel. After you fired 2,000 rounds, you had to change the barrel. With me is my number 2. So there was 3 men usually assigned to the machine gun. The number 1, which is the machine gunner, that's me. I'm the most important guy in the squad other than squad leader. The number 2, he's my feeder. He makes sure that in the event that there's a jam, ammunition issue, it's his job to help me fix it. In the event that I am a casualty, he takes over for me. He also carries one of the spare barrels. This is a spare barrel. Rather easy to replace. Just push this forward, the barrel pops out, you put the new barrel in, snap it back into place, you're ready to go. The rifle squad would typically be issued only, get this, 1,500 rounds of ammunition. In the light configuration, this is considered the light machine gun configuration, okay? The rifle squad, the machine gunner, is only supposed to fire in bursts of 3 to 7 rounds. In the heavy configuration, and this is where the heavy weapons company would be, so they would have the mortars, a Lafette tripod, they would be the ones firing over the heads of the rifle squad to try to suppress anything that the rifle squad is attacking. In that case, they're going to have a lot more ammunition, and in fact, they can fire out to about 1,000 meters, so that's about 1,000 yards. But normally, when we're using this in combat, this is not something that you fire, like I said, Rambo style from the hip. Instead, you're going to put it down on the ground like so. And this is how you're going to fire it. Like I said, 3 to 7 round bursts. The other interesting thing about this is that even though they'd only be issued 1,500 rounds, they'd only be issued 5 belts. Penalty of death if you burned out a barrel. So after 2,000 rounds, the barrel heats up enough where you can melt it. So the rifle squad would actually carry 2 spare barrels with them. When you deplete your ammunition, the number 3 gunner, he's the guy that goes back and gets more ammunition. In the event that we're actually on the assault, we have a carry strap, and right now it's misbehaving, but because the barrel shroud, this is the barrel shroud, is going to get hot. This is how they're going to advance in combat. And this might be what it looks like. My number 2, or that's full, he's always going to be right here. Number 3 is going to be trailing us. But this is how you go into combat.